Preacher Lee often behaved inconsistently with what he claimed and subtly manipulated situations within the church. Almost every time he gave a sermon, he would highlight the importance of following Christ's example by serving others. But in daily life, he treated people like tools to be used. One time, after a regular Thursday fellowship, we had lunch together. Usually, the senior sisters prepared the meals. That day, they hadn't prepared enough meat, so each person's bowl had only a few slices of pork belly. Preacher Lee's 2-year-old daughter was with him, and she only wanted to eat meat. Without hesitation, he ordered us, "Pick the meat out of your bowls and put it in my daughter's." Immediately, the senior sisters gave her all other meat. I was shocked. I had assumed he would at least ask first out of respect. Still, I followed the others. That moment left a deep impression on me. I felt it set a bad example for his daughter, encouraging her to believe she was the center of everyone's attention. Later, I regretted not speaking up, but I was new there, unsure of what was going on, and afraid of him. An elder sister named Lily suggested forming a music worship group, because for years only Preacher Lee and occasionally Elder Zion led worship before sermons. She encouraged the idea of involving more musically gifted brothers and sisters to share the responsibility. It was a reasonable suggestion that Preacher Lee couldn't deny. So after a Sunday sermon, he announced the formation of a worship team. I signed up as a pianist because I could play some basic worship songs, but he never responded. Instead, he assigned the role to a sister who didn't know how to play music, but had earned his trust. Other sisters recommended me to lead worship songs as well, but I declined. By then, I realized he wouldn't offer me any public stage, because it might threaten his sense of control and authority. From his perspective, if attention and praise weren't directed at him, it made him feel unsafe and uncomfortable. In the end, almost nothing changed. Nearly every Sunday worship continued to be his solo performance from the pulpit, and he seemed to enjoy it, appearing to be a hardworking leader. Once, during a mentor meeting required by my biblical studies, I asked him, as part of the assigned questions, whether there were any disagreements among the core leadership team. It was a tough question. He paused with a displeased expression and replied, "No, we don't have any." But a few months later, during a sermon when Elder Zion was absent, Preacher Lee openly mentioned his conflict with Elder Zion and said he had felt offended. On another occasion, while preaching, he emphasized that all church prayer meetings must be led by brothers, not sisters anymore. However, after the sermon, he did not assign any brother to take on the role. Sister Helen continued to lead the prayer meetings until I left the church. It seemed that once the sermon was delivered, his mission was done, and he left immediately. Sometimes, if he happened to walk past while we were praying in the small room, he would insist on joining the prayer or demand that we pray in his presence. Otherwise, he said, he wouldn't feel at peace.